Good afternoon. It is August the 5th, 2016. Time to wrap up another week's worth of trading. The first week of August. About 4 more weeks of summer. And it's officially over. Well, not by the sun, but by the work week. And I think school starts for a lot of people last week, no later than the last week in August. So things are starting to wind down. Okay, on the E-mini, this August the 5th, we've got a higher low and a higher high. So the F1 screen says you're a buyer. Putting all concerns and worries and what ifs aside. That's just exactly what it says. Looking at the F2 screen, very, very strong P. Volume is above time. It says you are a buyer. So the trade will be self-failure to take out 78 to 80. New contract highs. Again, it'll be the easiest trade to see. You do want to trade from the long side, and the next sell will be 84, 89. We close this thing above 2175, and it holds. Stops above 2200 is the next place the market is headed. So maybe not in a day, but that's where we're headed. So 84 to 89 is sell 2. Carl Icahn was out talking up his short positions today. Some of the best minds in the game out there, they keep getting short and they keep getting burned. We're at 76.50, last rotate down, stopped at 73, so 73.75 by 1. And then 68.70 by 2. Pick up this, let them get stops above that high right there. And strong market. Today we had news that said the market should trade up, and by golly it did. Wonders never cease. Treasuries got hit hard. We have the auction next week. They like to take it down on Fridays and Mondays into an auction, so they can move the paper at higher interest rates. And the talk will be the Fed can raise interest rates. They don't have an excuse for not raising interest rates once, maybe twice this year. I don't see how they do it in December. I do see how they could do it in December, especially if Trump gets elected. And then they'll be able to go back, and when they run the elections, the next series of elections, we had a great economy. Just look at all that. Look what happened when Trump got it. Vote us back into power. And they'll do that. They can do that. Really got hit hard today, lower high, lower low on treasuries. And that points to lower prices on Monday, or at least a retest of the lows. Now, I'm not really a big advocate of Trump, because some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, and some of his economic policies, like on trade policies, if he actually does what he says he's going to do, we had the tariffs in the 30s that made the depression much, much worse, and countries that got involved in the trade wars in the 30s had much deeper recessions, much deeper unemployment. The Commonwealth, Britain, only had like 6% decrease in their economies because they didn't engage in a trade war within the Commonwealth, and it's just been proven that that's not the right solution. Now you can negotiate better deals, but the idea of setting tariffs up does not work, and it's been proven that way. Okay, the next high volume number is basically at 132. The last rotate up stopped at 07. We're at 3, so sell 7s to 11s. Sell 1. 15 to 19, sell 2. 3-year auction, I believe, will start next Tuesday. I think we're going to go a little lower, but maybe not break. We usually get a pause day after a trend day, so 29 to 01 by 1. And then 21 to 25 by 2. It was interesting when you go back and you look at when dictatorships are thrown over, monarchies are thrown over, you have the court, those that hang around the crown, those that are crony capitalists that prosper or live off of that, and none of them think they'll be touched. And a lot of them are stood up against the wall or lose their heads in the process. And you can see right now that the people that are at the top of the economic pyramid are fighting like hell to keep it that way, and they got the cash flow and the wherewithal to do it. And there's nothing wrong with the system as far as they're concerned, but they're not untouchable either. Okay, first support's going to be 8 to 12. Looking at the low volume number down here is at 170.18. That's a stretch. We've got this low right here at 04. Got that low at 9. So we'll split the difference. We've got 8 to 12 right here as number 1. And we got this low right there. So we'll make 1 to 5 by 1. And then 21 to 17 by 2. And last rotate up stopped at 20, so 20, 24 is number 1, 27, 31, sell 1, 7 to 11, sell 2. So we're kind of looking for a pause day, a little bit lower, probably in London. And then a trading range, getting ready for the auctions starting on Tuesday. Gold got smacked. Looks like it's headed for 35, 37. Got hit pretty hard right here, so we'll fold all this in. And you can see we have a pretty square distribution, so that 25 area is probably good support, 75 is probably pretty good resistance, and we're right in the middle. This screen tells us to find a place to sell it. And very, very heavy profile right here. Going nowhere fast, so this 35, 37 area looks pretty good to me. So buy 1, 35, and 37 on the assumption we can get through 40, so we'll put a question mark at 40. Then we have this high volume number down at 30, so 29 to 31 for buy 2. On the sell side, last rotate up stopped at 45, so 45, 47, sell 1. 49, 51, sell 2. I sure hope the low is in crude, and we're going to go into a trading range now. I just these big rallies that come out of nowhere, even when the market is selling. But the cost of production is around $40, give or take, on what field you're in. And the oil patch has suffered mightily. So if we put all of this together right here, we got a pretty clean break here, and it's 42 and a quarter, 42.50. That's single print, and it really jumps up to 43 on the F1, 43.50. So 42 and a quarter to 43.50, and prices in between is where resistance is on crude. And so definitely have a P starting from the E period on Thursday. So selling failure to take out and hold 42, 42 and a quarter. Sell 1. 42.75, 43. Sell 2. Hard to see it getting up there, but on crude you don't know. Last rotate down was 41.50. We put a question mark there. We had a buy today of 41 and a quarter. That turned out to worked out as envisioned, as planned. So we'll keep that, and then 40.50, 40.75 for buy 2. What a fabulous day, though, in crude and gold and the bond for trading. And if you had to trade the E-mini, if you bought the opening and hung on, you picked up 10 points. It's just easier money to be made in other contracts right now. If they ever allowed the E-mini to sell, and it may come if Trump wins the White House, it won't come if the Democrats hold the White House, without the Fed doing the damnedest to stop him. But right now, the government and everybody that works for the government will do all they can to paint as rosy a picture as they can. And I don't see that anything that will stop that. And the character assassination and character smears will continue against Trump, which can't talk about policy, and unfortunately Trump responds like he's just been jabbed in the eye, and so he's playing into their hands right now. Okay, on the euro, we stopped where we could have, right here this break in the 75 to 85 area, and the market sold, got right back down to this high volume numbers. So this screen says find a place to sell it, and we did get stops beneath that low, so 1075 did work out. Did fade a little heat, and the last rotate up stopped in the 11.15 to 25 areas, so we'll make that sell 1, and we'll make 50 sell 2. On the buy side, last rotate down was 86, so we'll keep it at 75. I like the short side. Got a reasonable chance of getting down to 75, and then 10.50 for buy 2. Buy 1's at 10.75. Hey, I hope everybody has a great weekend out there. Still summer here. We just kicked the humidity up. Number 3 daughter is visiting us here for a while, for several days, actually a week, and so we'll be having fun with Sarah this weekend and picking her brain about what goes on in supposedly I don't even know what they call her, an X generation or whatever, Y generation, but it's always fun to mix with the younger kids. Keeps you young. Y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you bright and early on Monday morning. I have no idea on what Trump's going to do.